You're watching On Air podcast right here. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just giving everybody a gist. A lot of friends might not have been to Karnali region. A lot of friends who are listening right now might not have been towards that side of town. That side of the country. It's one of the most pristine for me personally, and one of the most untouched place in this country. Very beautiful, very vibrant. First time when I went to Surkhet, it was I always share this every time whenever I talk about Surkhet that I was in a lot of pain when I was in Surkhet. I had a muscle cramp, and I went to a hospital, and it got fixed instantly because of the doctors and friends who were there who were like, who welcomed me with arms wide open and go, honest, I'm ठीक बनाइदिन्छौँ. So I'll never ever forget Surkhet ever in my life, and obviously other places in Karnali region as well. So it's close to my heart. Obviously, you're from there. I get to say this now.
It is my home, yeah.
How was it first time crossing the border, Maggie, for you? How was it crossing the border and stepping into Nepal? Like, do you remember that moment?
I remember it so vividly. So I had been working in India for a year and a half, 2 years. I had traveled all of India extensively. And through the Nepali lens, everyone was following the news and the events, right? Because the borders were closed. There was armistice. I was working with a community that were predominantly migrants and Nepali refugees. So I knew about it, and I knew about the beauty. And what I noticed on the India side was this love of country. And you know what I'm talking about, because Nepalis abroad, if you find one, if two Nepalis, it's patriotism and this sense of togetherness and family that I've never seen before from any other country. Maybe because you all are so small that you have to stick together, especially outside in the big, in these bigger world. So there was this love of country, this heartbreak about what was happening, which I can't speak to politically, and this yearning to come home. And I was like, I want to know why everybody's leaving home, this beautiful place. So I remember I crossed over the border on a pony cart. Mm-hmm. You know them, you've seen them. I think it was Mahendranagar. And came through this country. At the time, it was lesser developed. And I remember just feeling the sense of like ease and comfort and safety. And like you said, just this warm welcome. And I felt like I was going on this adventure. And I was with a friend, Sunita, my friend Sunita. She was from Karnali. She's from Kalikot. And she wanted to go home and kind of go find her village. She'd been displaced during the conflict, during the war. And so, we went out on this journey. And I was young, you're 18, packing I'm like all the other backpackers here. So, I just remember the bus stopped. At the end of the road, the bus driver looked back and was like, this is where you get off. And I had my pack and I started walking up into the mountains of Dailek, Kalikot, Jumla. And that was my entrance to Nepal. So, most people, they come here for Pokhara and Kathmandu. That was my reality, entering in the far west and coming into the Midwest. Different perspective.
You knew about Kathmandu, you knew about Pokhara, you read about it. You probably, there was no Google, did you have Google at that?
No, so when we were 18, we didn't have smartphones, we didn't have WhatsApp, we didn't have, so I was traveling like a true backpacker in the sense.
Yeah. But you didn't, Kathmandu, Pokhara, all these places were definitely there in your
radar. It was on my
Yeah.
radar. I just wanted to go to that region because the families that I had been working with were all from there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to go to Kalikot, that's who I knew, that's what I knew. So that's where I went, and it was amazing.
तपाईले हाम्रो क्लिप एकदमै एन्जोय गर्नुभयो होला अब पुरै भिडियो हेर्नको लागि चाहिँ युट्युबमा सब्स्क्राइब गर्न नबिर्सिनु होला This program is brought to you by Vyas Studios